Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. It is Monday. It is after the full moon. It is after the eclipse. What an incredible, incredible weekend of readings and Reiki. Um, it's all good. I hope you're all doing well out there. I really, really do. So I certified at Reiki level 2. What I am finding is energy healing is energy healing. And some people do it very innately. It just comes through them. Whether they're tapping into life force energy with Reiki or whether they're in the high vibrational frequencies of the angels or light codes. And for some of you, you'll use it for yourself, and for some of you, you'll share it. But however you're being called to serve, because we all are. Many people come to me and they're like, what is my life purpose? And your life purpose is simply to serve in the way that works for you. For some people, it'll simply be modeling good behavior, modeling love, modeling compassion. For other people, it really is going to be doing, hands-on healing or giving readings, anything that you're being called to. So that's what I feel is happening with this energy now, is we're all being called to really kind of step up. So as I was putting a title on this video, I was like, stirrings of what, spirit? And they're like, well, stirrings of faith. And I was like, well, man, I don't want this to sound like it's going to be a religious weekly energy update, right? But faith really is just the belief that there's something more, right? Whether it's your team of guides, angels, ascended masters, God consciousness, goddess. The veil is really thin right now. So for many of you, you're feeling being kind of compelled or propelled into being of service. For some of you, you're being transformed vibrationally. You're having ascension symptoms. For some of you, there are some real life challenges going on right now because in your leveling up, there are some things in your life that just can't stay the way they are. So I really feel like this faith is more of a stirrings of faith are really kind of coming into surrender, right? That you can feel the change, you can feel the compulsion or the movement that you're wanting to make. And for some of you, this is in a very different direction. You're feeling a little worried because you're wondering if you're going to be criticized and judged, right? So I feel like there's a lot of that energy out there right now. So I want to dig into that today. So good morning, everyone. I am Melissa L. Watkins, evidential medium and master instructor with integrated energy therapy. And my purpose, my mission is to help each and every one of you who are ready to kind of step into your own magnificence and however that looks for you. And so I do feel like we are being brought into this embodiment of surrender, in the stirrings of the faith are leaning into whatever it is you believe in, leaning into trusting and acting on your guides, your intuition. For many of you, your third eye is opening in this energy. It looks like I'm wearing some bad lipstick, guys. No, this is just my lips. I don't know what's going on, but that's okay. I know my skin is definitely red today. I didn't put a lot of makeup on just because I had it on all weekend. So yeah, the stirrings of faith is the surrender, learning how to lean into what spirit is bringing you. And for many of you, you're just opening your third eye. You're just opening up to intuition in whatever way it's coming for you. My brother showed up on my desk. Hello, brother. And signs. Signs, yeah, they're definitely bringing you the number patterns. They're bringing you, whatever the sign is for you, whether it's lyrics, whether it's animal totems, feathers. One of the ladies that I read for over the weekend at the event, She's like, on my way here, I saw a little white feather in my car. And I was like, oh, it's beautiful confirmation, right? So that's what I feel like this week is going to be for you. Really kind of starting to or leaning in more into the intuition, into the messages that Spirit is bringing you. So let's see. What Spirit wants to say. I am going to use the Angel Messages by Bradley Valentine. I don't know. I was called to use this deck today. That's the deck we're going to use today. So it's a little big, a little hefty, but we're going to use it. Ooh, okay. All right. Whew. All right, we almost lost half of the pack onto the floor, and that would have really upset me. I actually have a wireless keyboard, so why I don't move it is I don't know. There's parts of me that are still so very old school, right? Used to like wires attached to everything, used to having to kind of figure things out. Not really. I still do things a little old school sometimes, but that's just the way that is, right? It's okay. There, and I got myself some room to lay down the cards. So yes, I got this cough, and it's really, I think, just allergies. I'm not sick by any means, but just this annoying, persistent cough. So we're going to try to get rid of that this week. And then I'm having my first coffee with you all. Having my first coffee with you all. Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Cynthia. All right, there we go. Now I'm more comfortable. That was better. Yeah, there we go. I feel like I'm more in line with you now. I felt like I was kind of sitting in your face. Yeah. Sometimes I do things and my daughter's like, Mom, why are you doing it that way? And I'm like, well, because that's how we used to do it. And she's like, well, that's not how you do it anymore. I'm like, okay. Okay. You're right. But sometimes, we get into this comfortability, the way that we want to do things because it's comfortable. And I feel like that's what a lot of this energy is right now. It's getting us out of being the old way of doing things and our own comfortability. So for some of you, this leaning into this idea of surrender, leaning into trusting your team of guides, angels, and ascended masters, because they really are taking you. Oh, hello. They really are taking you into this new way of being and doing. And so for some of you who've I've not been able to get abundant, or I've not been able to receive the support I need, or I don't feel like I have the right person in my life or the right people in my life, right? It's all coming. But you've got to lean into the changes that you're being brought to make. And that's what I'm really feeling like this week. There's just going to be more evidence for you of the way to go that Spirit's been bringing you for the past few months. There we go. All right, here we go. And this energy of the eclipse and the full moon, right, is really leading you now into this new idea of where your abundance is or where your prosperity is. But again, it's going to be uncomfortable. Yeah. And the moon card came right out. Look at that. So this is about your intuition. This is about leaning into your knowing that you know, feeling that you feel, getting the premonition dreams, getting the precognition, right? Really knowing that sometimes your dreams come true. And really leaning into that. So this is all about you coming into making the changes that you're being asked to make, that you're being guided to make through your team of guides, angels, and ascended masters. And it's okay to make them, because right out with that card, flip the 9 of fire, and it's protective, preparedness, and resilience. Yeah, you have everything you need to make these changes. You have everything you need to go in the new direction. Spirit has been bringing you the protection. They've been bringing you, and I think this moon card is also validation that this moon energy that we're still in, 3 days prior, 3 days post, right? We're still in this full moon energy. Absolutely. And we're going to be in this eclipse energy for months to come. So this is why you need to know that you are protected. So whatever changes you're making, look at that. Spirit has got your back. Like you're not making this leap of faith on your own at all. And I don't even feel like it's like a crazy leap of faith. I feel like it's a leap of faith that has been gradually building, right? Like some things have been falling away out of your life. You didn't get the promotion. You didn't get the job you interviewed for 4 times. The guy that you really, really thought was going to call never did, right? Those were all things that were protecting you from the way that wasn't yours, even though it was what you really, really wanted, right? But it was protecting you because it's time for you to go in the direction that you're being called to go in. That's been weighing on your mind. That has been the sign, right? It's the thing that keeps showing up and you keep going, no, 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 that's too big, that's too uncomfortable, that's too much, right? And I have to go back to this idea of criticism and judgment, because that's what I've been feeling for many of us, is that we haven't made the changes that we've wanted to make or gone in the direction we've wanted to go in, because there is that old programming, right? That inner child wounding of criticism and judgment. And it's not that I want to call out your parents. It's not that. Because sometimes when we're growing up and we're really little, right? And that's when these programs got programmed into our subconscious, right? 0 to 7. We were made to feel a way. Maybe we saw other people being criticized and judged, or maybe it was a feeling that we didn't even realize we had attached to or felt, because of what was going on around us. So sometimes this criticism and judgment that we're afraid of is because of an old story that we felt and held on to, from that core wounding, that inner child wounding, right? So for many of us, it's like coming out of that and really putting that to bed, healing that part of ourselves, or releasing that fear of being criticized and judged. But I'm feeling right now that that's a lot of the energy out there that's holding a lot of people back. What will other people think? What will other people say? Right? Society, family, right? So this is where we really have to kind of lean into and do it anyway. Good morning, Tammy. Good morning. Hold the phone, guys. I'm having a situation, as you know. So that's what I'm feeling that's holding them, us back, is that idea that somebody's going to have a thought about it, or it's not who we were, or it's not where we've always gone and what we've always done. And so Spirit is coming in to say that what you're being really propelled to do, compelled to do, you're really feeling that drive, right? That solar plexus seed of your will coming online, right? Like, this is my passion. This is what I've always wanted to do, or this is what I've always been called to do, and I never did. And now it's like, it's time, because that's where, you build. This is where you build your empire. This is where you build your resource. This is where you build your network. This is where you are going to build the prosperity and abundance that you've been thinking. Good morning, Jen. Good morning. This is where you're going to find the happiness and the fulfillment that you've been wanting, where in the past you thought it was going to be X, Y, or Z. And in the past few months, it's like, well, X, Y, or Z didn't pan out. That didn't work out. That's because it wasn't your road. You thought it was, right? That rational human brain, that old programming said, this is the way to go. And now Spirit is like, no, your intuition is where you build the prosperity. Your intuition, the roadmap that your team of guides, angels, and ascended masters are bringing you. That's where it is. Whatever it is for you. The dream, the goal, the passion, the service. and you're protected. You're protected. They're not sending you out here to make all these radical changes and like throwing you to the wolves. Spirit doesn't ever do that. When something is truly for you, Spirit is right there. They've got your back. They're going to bring you the right people. They're going to bring you the right situations. They're going to remove the obstacles and challenges out of your way. It doesn't mean it's completely smooth sailing, but whatever obstacles and challenges do show up, you're going to have the help for. As long as you have the strength and the grace and the surrender and the faith to go in the new direction, to make the steps. But for those of you who have been really striving and driving and it hasn't been working out, it couldn't work out. The striving and driving was fear energy. That was never going to work for you. It's never going to work for any of us. The allowing it to come into your experience, the sitting down and getting quiet and meditating on it, following the signs, having the strength and the grace and the surrender to follow the signs. And whatever the fear is, the criticism and judgment, the unworthiness, the powerlessness, those are the things that you're going to have to learn to overcome and release, because those are the things that are holding you back, that old programming. Yeah, and for those of you that have been wanting the family, for those of you that have been wanting the support, for those of you that have been wanting the comfort and the love and it's almost like a support that you've never had before, right? So for some of you, it's going to come in the form of your team of guides, angels, and ascended masters before it can come into the physical. For some of you, you've really got to let go of the I don't deserve. I'm not good enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not thin enough. I'm not wealthy enough. I'm not whatever enough. You got to let it go. You got to draw on the support from the people who do love you, your inner support from your own divinity, and your team of guides, angels, and ascended masters, your guardian angel, whoever you believe in. They're your first line of defense. So anybody who's coming at you that you're like, who are you to do that? Or that's too iffy. That's too scary. Don't go in that direction. That's their fear. Because if you make big sweeping changes that work out, it almost forces them to be like, maybe I'm supposed to follow that feeling I've got. If you stay small, they can stay small. And in this energy, there's no staying small. Because it's time to have the family. It's time to have the support. It's time to have the relationships, networking, soul family, soul tribe, community. It's time. And you're protected to make the changes. Spirit has your back. Yeah. Any lack or worry, this is what you've got to overcome. What are they going to think? How am I going to do it if I make these changes and lose all these people or lose this resource? Because for some of you, you will have to get isolated for a minute. For some of you, you may lose everybody before the soul family shows up. But that isolation or that being by yourself is needed. It's absolutely needed for you to come into who you are, for you to know who you are. Because for some of you, you've been striving and driving for everybody else for so long, you don't even know who you are. You don't even know what you want. You can't even hear Spirit bringing you the gifts and the talents and the nudges, because you've been so caught up in the distraction of everybody else's dialogue, the story in your head, right? That programming, those thoughts in your head that just keep going around and around and around. That's too scary. You're not going to have enough. What if you're this? What if you're that? What if they say this? What if they say that? What if they see your vulnerability, right? What if they know I'm a fraud? What if they find out I X, Y, or Z, right? This is your chance to overcome that. This is your chance to get beyond that, right? This is your chance to step into your power. This week is going to be you having to make a decision, but Spirit wants you to know that you have the power within you to make the decision, and the one that's right for you, not right for anybody else, right? Oh, look at that. Bottom of the deck, 10 of Pentacles. Yeah, it's time. Top of the deck. Oh my gosh, the Emperor. Yeah, it's time. It's time for you to come into your power. Look at that. It's time for you to come into building your new so that you can have the resource, you can have the relationships. So you've got to follow the intuition. You've got to follow the intuition, and you have to know that you're protected as you do that. And if you're like, but I don't know what the intuition is, follow the signs. Follow the signs. Here's the thing that I teach. Spirit brings you lessons until you get them. Spirit brings you the way until you get it. Spirit brings you the signs until you get it. If it's for you, you're not going to miss it. If it's for you, they're going to bring it back around for you. And if you're someone that really is struggling with the thoughts or the trauma, because I know that for some of you, you're like, yeah, I think it would be great to be able to do whatever it is you want to do. I think it would be great to be a full-time songwriter. I can't financially do that. I think it would be great to, follow my passion and just be an artist, but I can't afford to do that, right? But if you take a step, maybe you start writing songs after everybody goes to bed. Maybe you start working on your art when you've got some time. This is about just beginning to follow the intuition, beginning to follow what Spirit is bringing you. Because here's the thing. You take a step, they'll bring you the next step. So maybe right now you don't know how something's going to work out. And we don't ever know how it's going to work out. I'm here to tell you, they don't show you the way until you commit. And wow, is that the hard part? Good morning, Tammy. I'm not sure if I said good morning to you, honey. Oh, awesome, Cynthia. Yeah. Taking on others' energy is not a good thing. Yeah. Spirit will keep bringing it to you until you get it. They most certainly will. They most certainly will. So let's get some advice for the week. The week ahead, let's get some advice. If you're terrified of doing something different, if you're terrified of taking a step, that is your trauma. That is that feeling that won't let you move forward. And it's an old programming. It doesn't serve you anymore. So if you're someone that really, really needs help, letting go of that fear that is paralyzing you from moving forward in your life, this is where I would say reach out and get some help. All right? Because I know how hard that feeling can be to overcome, because it's real, it's visceral, it's core wounding. And for many of you, it's time to come into self-acceptance, that you're not that core wounding, you're not that terror, you're not that fear. You are the magnificent light that is on the behind that fear. You are not your thoughts. You are that which is behind your thoughts. And so for many, it's time to accept that you are creative. It's time to accept that you are nurturing. It's time to accept that what you have is not what you want, because you're being propelled or compelled in a completely different direction, because that is the service that you came here to be in. And that's beautiful. And that's beautiful. But it's okay to accept yourself for who you are. Not the striver and driver. Not the pusher. Not the person that does everything for everyone else and puts themselves behind all the time. It's time to accept that you are beautiful and viable, and you have needs, and they're important, and that you have a mission and a purpose that is needed. You have a voice that needs to be used. You have a heart that deserves love. It's time. It's time. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And anything that doesn't serve you right now, clear, cancel, release. Anything that is getting in your way, an old thought, an old energy, clear, cancel, release. It's time to shift your story into receiving, out of lack mentality. I don't have enough. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough this. I don't have enough that. BS. Clear, cancel, release those thoughts. Time is not linear. You'll have the time. The resources, you will have the resources if you stop thinking you don't have the resources. If you believe that money is energy and what comes in or what goes out does come in. If you believe that you're talented, if you believe that you're important, if you believe that you deserve, it'll all come. The right person, the right situation, the right money, the right whatever it is you need. But anything that you're thinking, because thoughts create emotions, and emotions create your reality. Clear, cancel, and release those thoughts that don't serve you. I don't deserve that. I'm not good enough to do that. Yes, you are. It's time to believe it. It's time to get on board with that belief. And again, if the trauma is too great, it's time. It's time to do some work, some shadow work. Because it is time for you to come into ease and grace. It is time for you to have things flowing into your experience. And that can only happen is if you start allowing things to come into your experience. But if you're blocking it by putting up the wall of I don't deserve or I'm not good enough, if you're putting up the wall of it never works out for me, I'm not the person that ever, whatever the wall is, it's time to come into grace and ease. It's time to allow the flow of energy, resource, people, soul tribe, the right job, where you will be respected and earn what you deserve. And all of this is right behind the old thoughts, the old energy that no longer serves you. And this week, it's time to start getting very clear about what you're thinking and what you're holding off. You've been through some learning experiences, and that's what those traumas were. And for some of you, again, core wounding. For some of you, those were relationships or situations you got into because of old patterns, right? But now it's time to put those learning experiences, the lesson, take the lesson, let go of the experience and move into flow, move into ease and grace. Accept the lesson and accept what it taught you so that you can now move into what is for you. And that's what this week wants to bring you. That's what these, eclipses are all about. This is what the full moon was all about. It's time. It's time for you to drop down into your intuition, drop down into your heart, and believe it, to receive it. Yeah, don't relinquish your power. Don't relinquish your power. Nope. If anybody's trying to take your power, walk away, move on. Do not relinquish your power. And stay open-minded. Stay open-minded to what Spirit's bringing you, because I'm here to tell you, it's always going to take you on a path that's uncomfortable. They're always going to take you down a new path that is for you, but you can't quite see yet. Stay open-minded. Oh, I like that. I like that. All right, guys, that's what I have for you this week. And if you are someone that really is truly struggling with fear, trauma, whatever it is, in person or virtually, you can work with me at guidance311.com. The discounted packages for IET are the way to really get into the issues in your tissues. And the 6 and 12 session packages are the deepest discounts. So if you're someone who's like, I got to do the shadow work, I want something different, I want the right partner, I want the right home, the right job, I want happiness, I want grace and ease, I want flow, then it's time. You deserve it. We can help you with that. We can help you with that. Yes, release with gratitude. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you. All right, guys. So I will be back sometime this week. Be on the lookout for, if you haven't checked out my YouTube channel, check it out. A lot of good stuff there. And the shorts are now coming in with messages for all of the different astrological signs. So those are there for those of you who want a little extra support. If you haven't checked that out, do that. Yeah, we got a lot of good stuff going on, guys. So have a beautiful, beautiful week, and I'll talk to you soon.